What do you say, Bruce? You want to get into it?
Yes, John, let's do it, my friend.
All right, then without further ado, welcoming now to Stay Awake Squadcast is Bruce Fane of Losing September. Welcome, friend. Welcome. Hello.
How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, you guys just released your new song today with the new video. And I've got tons of questions about it, but we don't gotta get right into that and everything. Looking good there. I see you got the sunglasses on, just like me. Here, let me give you some videos so you can see
I
me
can't
too.
see you right now for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's just because I can't run one webcam on two apps, but I can use my my virtual webcam. So you'll see this, but it looks backwards, but on the stream we're not backwards. So let's get into this thing.
Sweet. Well, you were. Now it's breaking up a little bit for some reason.
It's breaking up. Give it a second. It might stabilize.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah, we'll get through it. It seems a little grainy.
The video or my voice?
The video.
Okay, that's fine. As long as my voice is okay.
Yeah, your voice sounds good.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, dude, I know. The first thing I noticed when listening to that is, and I've been listening to your guys' music since like 2017. I've been a fan of Losing September, and every time you guys release new songs and stuff, it just seems like the quality of production and everything gets better and better. And I just wonder, like, how is the recording process for you guys? Like, are you going into the studio, or do you guys do all your own work? Do you have somebody who you record with?
Well, really, what happened, in the last, since COVID has occurred, everything kind of flipped the world upside down. And, like we really couldn't figure out a way, we had to figure out a way to respond to the way that the pandemic pretty much shut down the way a musician had a means to live. So ultimately we had to focus on different means of communicating. Like our lead guitarist had been diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma,
Mr. Foreman, you're speaking of?
Yes, Nicholas, who has been with me from early beginnings, since we were at Ball State University.
Losing September is Bruce Fane and Nicholas Foreman. You two are what makes it happen, and always have been.
Yeah. And we were the only metalheads at the time in our music department, and we just it was history from that point forward. So it was awesome experience meeting him, and we've just evolved from that point on. And right now, currently, he has two beautiful twin babies that are now a year old, but like they were being born during the pandemic, and so we couldn't really get together for recording. We couldn't get together in the studio. So like we really had to track everything separately, individually, bouncing tracks. We had to learn how to, adapt. And, luckily our previous producer that we had worked with on our first 3 albums, was available and interested because of COVID at the time. And our producer that tracked Contagious, he met Tarak from Vimic. If you're familiar with Vimic, that's Joey Jordenson's band. He's a keyboardist and guitarist. He produced Contagious, and we were planning to follow through with Curse the Sky, and then COVID happened. I know that he had complications with his family, and like they were very vulnerable to the circumstances and stuff. So like just the recording process wasn't going to work or follow through. So luckily, Tim, our previous producer, he was on board. We had already recorded the music video for the song, and we had the preliminary tracks pre-recorded. and pre-production was finished. It was just the mastering that we were looking on finishing. So we had done that in our own studio, Stalin Studios, and so all the pre-production for this song was all done with us in Stalin Studios, and then we bounced it to the man with the plan, Tim Kinnan from White Light Audio, and he mastered it and he messed with it. He told me these vocals suck. I need these fixed. I need harmonies here. So it was a new experience because we had worked with Tim always like face to face, and luckily because we had that experience previously, it was easy for us to adapt. And I knew what he wanted from me because we had worked together in the past, and it was crazy, kind of like how we're having this interview now,
Yeah.
digitally.
Well,
It-
that's kind of what COVID did. It turned everything into all podcasts being on videos like this and everybody having to do shit separately. And what weird for Foreman, to be going through all his stuff and having twin babies and everything right during the pandemic.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that guy never ceases to amaze me. He's a superhero. Somehow, yeah, he's amazing. So we're so blessed to have him. This song is a tribute to his courageous, his journey, his path. He's amazing. We're honored to have him. So
That's
we're
really
lucky.
cool, man. That's cool you did that for him. It's funny in the video he's all chained up and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of symbolizes like it being stage 4 cancer. That's kind of it's going to be with him the rest of his life. So that's something that he's going to have to live with.
Yeah.
Um, there's not a cure for that, but it is the most treatable form of cancer. So he does have a fighting chance to have a manageable life, and he's doing an outstanding and amazing job at doing that. So
Hell yeah, cheers
he's
to that, and I'll
every
drink to
day.
that.
Yeah, amen, amen. He's encouraging just every day, just to see his smiling face. It brings joy.
So I want to talk about I have questions about the video. Like, you guys have the cop cars in there and everything. Like, how do you go about that? And like the news reporters, did you like pay off the police and be like, we need your vehicle, we need you to drive?
You never know what would. Well, actually, where we filmed the cabin, like, because this is a sequel to Contagious.
Uh huh.
And the Contagious plot is we're in a cabin that's in Beaver Creek, uh, Ohio, which is the Beaver Creek Park, which is the area right where Babyface Nelson, or Pretty Boy, no, not Babyface Nelson, but Pretty Boy Floyd got gunned down. He was with Dillinger making his escape. He was got gunned down by the FBI. So
Some
pretty
gang
that
shit.
those yeah, yeah. So like when you look at the Dillinger movie with Johnny Depp and stuff, they've got those scenes of Pretty Boy Floyd getting gunned down. This is actually the historical area that they've got a monument of the location where the FBI shot him, just to make sure, everybody knows
Yep.
that if you do wrong, they'll shoot you good. But it also turned him into a like historical figure. So it's pretty cool. It's fun. It was a great experience, and we actually got to work with the Beaver Township Police, which is not Beaver Creek. These are different branches, but we were lucky that they had the same name, so it kind of flowed well with the video.
You guys
So,
just
but the
reached
Beaver
out to him
Township,
like, hey, we're shooting a video. You think you could give us a couple squad cars or whatever?
yeah, pretty much. My wife, Jamie, is she's very good at
The words
working
and
her
talking to
magic
people.
and talking to people. And she's bold, so she went out and she's like, "Well, we want police officers. Let's go find some." So we went and we talked to the Beaver Township Police, and they were outstanding. So amazing to work with. They like handled everything so well. They had creative ideas of their own, adding to the script. It was so awesome to work with them. So such a pleasure. So Beaver Township Police Department, shout out.
Shout
These
out to
guys are awesome.
Beavertown Police Department. Um,
So great.
I forgot what I was gonna ask. Hold
After you, brother.
on. You said Contagious was the first part of the thing. You have number one Contagious, then Curse the Sky. And so
Right.
it's kind of like a concept thing you have going there. Is there any more plans for that, or can we expect anything else?
Right now we actually have uh, in the works. We've been working on, like, when we went to Asia back before COVID, back in November of 2019. We went to Myanmar, uh, and we played a show, and we toured and made so many friends and family when we were over there. And during that process, we made amends, and we've been working with these bandmates over there in Myanmar, and in the process of recording an album, working with them. So we've been tracking for a while, and then since of February 1st, a military coup has occurred, and they were a democracy, but they've only been a democracy for 10 years, and we were actually the first American band to ever perform in Myanmar.
That's pretty
Um,
sweet.
yes, we were very lucky, and now we'll probably never be allowed to go back there. That's the unfortunate terms, unless they were to reclaim their democracy. And it's a real hard situation that is going on right now.
But
Like, they're
it's cool that they have people like you though to like spread the word out, and make people aware of this kind of situation, that's happening over there with the people.
Well, thank you, John. It means a lot to us because they're our friends and family. So this is crimes against humanity. The things that they are doing to these people. I mean, they're just shooting them down for protesting. Freedom of speech. That amendment is taken away. They're fighting their military. They're standing there, and their military is gunning them down. They're defending themselves with baseball bats, swords, and that's like the most dangerous weapons they got, and fireworks.
And the media doesn't cover any of this. You know that. Like, there's no media
No, the
coverage on
military
this.
pays for all their controls all their media.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna. You're not gonna see what's going on.
You're not gonna see it on American news and shit like that.
And exactly. So and also so much other chaos is going on in the world too right now. You see everything that's going on in Israel. That gets automatically, there's more money in those areas of the world, so it gets eminent domain over and precedent over anything else. So it's, Myanmar needs a voice, and as many people that can speak about it, and we're honored to, because these are our bandmates. We love these people. These people are the Buddhists have, three concepts that are that have precedent over anything else, and that's, if a stranger comes to your home, you give them shelter, you give them food, and you give them water. That is a very humble society. They don't deserve,
what's happening
mass
to
genocide.
Yeah, it's messed up, man. So the world's been a crazy place the last year and a half. I mean, it's always been a crazy place, but it just seems like things are getting more wilder and wilder,
You're totally right. It is bizarre. My wife's cousin always he always has a way of saying things, and he says that the world gets weirder and weirder and weirder every day.
It really does, dude. Every time I open up my phone or the internet and see the shit, I'm just like, oh god, like, I'm done with it. I just want happiness and celebration and good times, and it just seems harder and harder to find that.
Well, festival season is opening up.
It's coming back, baby. Shows and tours coming back.
So those days may be that bright light may be on the horizon. Sometimes you need a lot of darkness to see what light you might need.
Well said, Bruce.
You can really capture that.
You really do need it. You need the light and the dark, the good and the bad. Can't have one without the other. You know, it can't be all good times and celebrations, because then you wouldn't
Right,
know
and it
what it
gets
is to
old
have a good
after a
time.
while. People
Yeah,
just learn to fight just because they're having too much fun. They're like, I need something different. It's
I want to be
too many
pissed off
problems.
today.
But I think one thing when it comes to the men in general, we need a little bit of a good roughing up, like just like you, boxing or football, or just that
Some
aggressiveness,
aggressiveness.
like
Yeah,
we and that is one of our flaws, but it's also one of our strengths too. It's just you have to learn how to control it, and you can't overconsume anything really that
yeah.
will, because whatever you consume will possess you. Coming from a long-term alcoholic myself, uh, it will possess you, hands down.
Yeah, but you've turned your alcoholism into into a beautiful thing. You use it to make good music or whatever, and that's one of the most beautiful things about music is you can express your addictions or feelings about your friend or towards how you think something's fucked up with the government. That's what we have music for, you know.
Amen. I'm lucky for that, and we have that freedom of speech, which like our friends in Myanmar don't. They'll be persecuted if they were to speak out against anything. So like we can't really involve them in certain things because they're in danger. It's so messed up. It's so screwed up. The world that we live in, like the freedom of speech is something that we take for granted here, but in other parts of the world they don't have the right to bear arms. They've never had that because they've been under military rule ever since World War II and even before that. This is a culture that's not familiar with freedom like we are as Americans, but they are very humble and very caring. It's a beautiful culture.
How did you get linked up with that? How did you end up getting the tour or whatever, being able to go over there to Myanmar? Was it you? I know you had mentioned that you have an agent or somebody in Asia, a manager who
Yes,
kind of.
Jerry Chambers. We love good old Jerry. He's in Thailand now. Um, Rocking the good fight. He was over there right before COVID because he had sent us over there and he had stayed. He was planning on us coming back to Thailand in 2021. There's a possibility maybe 2022 that we could work something out. But again, with everything with COVID and vaccinations,
Yep,
everything's
we're
also
not there yet.
dependent on. We're not there yet. Yeah. So to book something like that, everything is on like a fluent timeline. So it changes. They're going to move around, but when the opportunity arises, sometimes you got to take it. When we had that opportunity in 2019, we did. Jerry called us and said, "Hey guys, you have an opportunity to go to Asia." He had been setting up for 5 years beforehand when we were in the States, and he was living here with us. He was actually our tour manager, on-site manager. He would drive us around, and he would, handle harassing the booking agents for the money or what time slot we get or blah blah blah, all that, all the hard stuff that suck about being a manager. Jerry would go into battle for us, and then once he actually got his final DUI, I think fifth DUI, and that one took his license away, so he couldn't be our driver anymore or tour manager. So he decided that he was going to be our international. He started working with Rock Rage Radio, and by working with Rock Rage Radio, he connected with Asia and Southeastern Asia specifically, and traveled out there and created a hub, and has been out there for like the last several years and developed a good fan base. He's been touring from all the different countries going in. He saw Bring Me the Horizon in Thailand when they went to Thailand, got backstage passes, developed relationships with Idiots Band, Strike, Willie Strike, and Sarah, and
You
there's
had
so many.
mentioned that he even knows our friends Stay Awake.
Yes, Stay Awake out of Thailand. Yes,
Yeah,
Jerry's. familiar with them. We've been familiar with them for years because of Jerry. So, and you mentioned that you'd done an interview just recently with those gentlemen.
Yep, just 2 weeks ago, I believe it was. Now they were
That's
very pleasant.
awesome.
They're very pleasant dudes.
Hell yeah. Is
I
my
could.
chair squeaking? Do you hear that
No,
squeaking?
I can't hear your chair squeaking. Mine's squeaking though too. So you're all good.
Well, I
I can't
can't
hear
hear
you.
your chair squeaking, so I think we're good then.
We're good.
Hopefully.
That's what they do, man. Computer chairs squeak.
Yeah, they do.
What do you got? You got a nice gaming chair, dude? Do you do any gaming? You like to game at all?
I play Madden.
You play Madden on
Yeah, I do
console?
play Madden. What's that?
On a console, Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox or
Xbox.
PlayStation. I'm an old school PlayStationer, I guess, but before that, GameCube, I guess.
Nice. I actually have a GameCube in the box
You gotta love the GameCube.
right here on hand. Look at this thing. A pristine.
Yeah, the first 4 controller console. You gotta love that.
Yeah, right. It wasn't it? Well, Nintendo 64 was.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But
I
then
forget
that was
that
after.
those two are
GameCube was
different.
after.
Yeah, N64. That was the birth of GoldenEye.
Yep, GoldenEye. A legendary old school game. Yeah, I'm a connoisseur of Nintendo 64 myself. I've got quite the collection. Like a $600 collection of Nintendo 64 games. Yeah, so I mean, I remember, dude, when I first met you guys I met you guys at Muncie Gras was the first time, and you guys were playing with Glow Stick Willie at Muncie Gras, and I told them like, oh, dude, because Ricky Rage turned me on to you guys, and I was like, I'm a big fan of Losing September, and I want to meet him, so I met you guys just briefly that night, and then you guys played Willie Town, and I remember you guys were playing, and I was like, I look like a hippie in the crowd with my Glow Stick Willie shirt on, and I'm like sitting there singing all the words, and you kind of like looked at me like how's this kid know how's this guy know all of the words to our songs? Then I ran into Foreman and like was chatting it up with him, and he was like, "Come on to the tour bus." Then we had drinks and we're hanging out all night. I remember we had good conversations. I actually have a pic that Nick Foreman gave me right here, coincidentally.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't tell it's a Foreman pic, but he gave it to me just like this, all worn out and everything.
Well, that's the way he likes it, carpenter's pick.
But I remember asking you, well, what's your biggest influences in writing music? And without hesitation, you were like Pearl Jam. Is that still true? That's true. You said that to me, right?
Yes, Pearl Jam was one of the first influences. I got the opportunity to see them like when they were just starting out at the Rosemont Horizon. They didn't even have the lights on at the arena. So, like when they performed, they were the opener and they outperformed everybody else. So it was just outstanding show. I remember telling my sister, that's who I want to be when I grow up. And she said, that's the opening act. So I could see the talent.
And look at them now.
Yeah. They're still crazy as fuck. Who would have thought that Eddie is, out of that whole generation, is the one that's still alive?
Still alive and still going. I just saw him play a show on ABC.
The rafters.
Yeah, hanging from the rafters. Yeah.
Like I just remember like his own bandmates saying that like they just assume he's gonna die every night. He's hanging up there that 30 or 40, 50 feet up off the ground, he's just dangling around.
And you're there. Like the band's just trying to keep it together. Like you got anxiety, like, oh yeah, our singer's gonna fall and die and not be able to finish the tour.
Exactly. And there's contracts there. So if you don't fulfill those contracts, you gotta pay them too.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not if you're Pearl Jam. They always have the best lawyers. That's for sure.
So
who else can take on Ticketmaster and win?
Oh yeah, right? Dude. Nobody, dude. Ticketmaster's garbage, dude. I try my hardest not to buy any tickets from them anymore. Though I haven't bought tickets in a year and a half, which is weird. I just
you're gonna have to have the vaccine to purchase any Ticketmaster tickets.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Year. So
That's
that'll be interesting.
that's like I feel like that's like against the law of freedom.
Well, I think it totally is. It pretty much signs you up for a private club.
Uh-huh. And it's like discriminating against anybody without the
But it's
vaccine.
discriminating
We
not
don't
to
want you there.
discriminate
They're
against.
gonna make sections, vaccinated people and non-vaccinated people. You can't stand with the vax people, like it's gonna be
They already have
segregation.
that now. They already have that now. They make you wear a mask if you're not vaccinated in certain
But
states.
what I've noticed that you could just be like not wear a mask and nobody's gonna ask you. I mean, well, it depends where I'm at.
Well,
That
that's
does
your
not
sense of
happen.
morality, John. Come on.
Sense of morality.
John the beloved.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it's me, and it's nobody's business. I feel also whether someone is vaccinated or not. You shouldn't be pushing shit down people's throats or like. That's the thing.
Agreed.
Nobody's ever done this. It's never been like that. Like, here's my card. Here's my vaccination card. There's been flus. There's been all kinds of shit throughout the years. Why is it now just like this? Like, I've got this special thing. I'm vaccinated. I'm better than you or whatever, like what why can't it just be something that you don't have to talk about? You just do it if you want to and feel safe.
Well, it is weird that like in Ohio you can get your if you get the vaccination you're automatically registered for to be a candidate for $1 million giveaway. Like
Yeah, they're
never
giving
in
all these weird incentives.
they're giving away free stuff for prisoners. If you get the vaccine, you get like so many months off your
Uh-huh.
parole or something like that. It's like that's weird. Like why are they like what that's weird and just in general for anybody to do that, whether it be a vaccine or anything to give people that kind of incentive is bizarre.
It seems forceful, you know what I mean?
And if you use critical thinking, you're automatically considered a bad guy or someone that's a
Yeah, if
villain.
if you question it, like if you go, "Oh, well you must be dumb," or you don't care about people. Like, no, I like to think about things. I like to consider the possibilities that something weird maybe is going on.
Which I plan on getting vaccinated, but I don't
Same.
want to force my family into that by any means. Like especially once we travel to Asia, we're going to have to get vaccinated.
It's
So
worth it
I
to
know
be
that
able
it's
to do
inevitable,
those
but that's
things.
a choice that I have, and I have to make that decision.
Yep.
So, but to force people to make that is dangerous. I think.
Or to ridicule people for not making the decision.
Correct. Yes. So I think we agree on our freedom it has turned into each country has its different standards for it, really. And we're lucky to be in the country that we are, though. So we have to be grateful for that because we could be in Myanmar
Absolutely.
where they are suffering, you know.
It does
And
make you grateful for the freedoms that we do have and what we are able to do. You got to count your blessings every day. There's no reason for all like we were saying earlier, all the hate in the world and people are so angry and shit gets weirder and weirder every day. Like sometimes you just got to stop and appreciate that like things aren't
amen.
so bad. You got a roof over your head.
The
You're
sun
allowed
is
to
out.
say
The
whatever you
birds
want.
are chirping. People are taking their masks off. You
Yeah.
know,
I've gone to
it's like
live shows. There's
life is
been
getting
live shows
slightly
and
better.
music.
Amen. I love it, John. I love it.
I love it too, man.
That
It feels good.
power of
It feels like
positive thought.
the light at the end of the tunnel, like you said.
The power of positive thought.
Yeah,
And that's why
absolutely.
people are just react like you're seeing people react in crazy manners. I mean, it's because we've been caged up like a bear in hibernation and they're
Yeah.
letting people out. So they're just like overreacting. They can't handle their emotions,
No,
and
yeah, not even I can. I go out and I feel weird and like anxious, and I'm a social butterfly. I love going out and walking up to some band's tour bus and going, "Let me come on and talk to you guys." But now, like, after sitting inside for a year and a half, I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. It's something I've got to push myself back into, like going out and being social and talking to everybody and playing shows, and it's hard to re-immerse yourself back into the world after that long.
I agree. It's changed me. It's changed my family. It's changed our band.
It's changed the music industry.
Totally.
Like look at like and Glow Stick Willie. I don't know if you follow them and know what they're doing, but they
Oh,
stream
of
here on
course I know
Twitch.
those boys.
I know you
How
know
could
the boys.
I not?
They got partnered on Twitch. They do this huge thing where they're streaming 5 nights a week, playing live shows like it's a live concert in your living room. And that was like a really big movement, I think, during the pandemic that people needed. That I think more bands should have done.
Totally.
You know, is being like delivering these live streams. I know you. I saw you do some. You know, where you did some benefit streams and stuff, playing
Not to
music
the
on
level of
Facebook Live.
like Glow Stick. They're like throwing giant broadcasting. I remember right before the pandemic. I mean, they pretty much had purchased a. They pretty much set up a touring festival rig,
Yeah.
you know, and I was just like, oh man, I don't know what they're gonna do with that now. Geez, you know, just thinking like I used to own a bar, Doc's Music Hall, me and Mike Martin, and during that time, like you just have to pay attention to the market at all time. You're wondering what's up, what's down, when people are buying, when people have money, the unemployment rates are down. They're more apropos to drink, you know, than they are when it's not. And then there's certain times when it's down that they're actually more willing to drink than they're not. And then you feel like a criminal, and you are kind of in a way. You're a drug dealer, you
Yeah,
know.
you're robbing people because you know they're
You're
gonna
robbing,
spend their money on it. But I mean, that's
yeah,
being
because they're
owning a
dependent on
business.
it. So, and it was a hard. Being a bar owner is a hard thing, and I'm so grateful that we had to learn through that process. At the time, it was a miserable experience, but the Lord works in mysterious ways, or the devil for that part, whichever side you
Hail
choose.
Satan!
But I mean, he definitely controls rock and roll. There's no doubt about that.
uh,
So
but dude,
my mother
even
always told me. My mother always told me that, son, it's not good to have sympathy for the devil, but I always thought he was a pretty good singer. Apparently, if he was the head choir director, but he ain't.
that's awesome. Um, yeah, it's changed the restaurant and bar industry too. Is to the point where people have been fed up with the way things have to change. You know, you don't work for your employer anymore. Your employer should work for you. No more shitty wages and long,
This is
endless,
so true.
excruciating hours. You know, I think people are finally fed up with that, and people are not going back to work at those places. And there's tons of bars and restaurants that are just closing because people don't want to work there anymore. For myself, I've worked in bars and restaurants, and I had the year and a half to sit and reflect and be like, is this really what I want to keep doing? I've had all this time to think about like my future and what I want to be doing, and it's not being at a bar or a restaurant till 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning every night.
From a bar owner's perspective, though, a lot of those bars were going out of business before the COVID restrictions even were set into place. So they didn't ever get the bailout that bars that made it past those restrictions could,
Yeah.
even though they were still nobody was buying them up because there's no market for them to be purchased. Or like, why would you buy a bar during COVID? You know, unless you knew you could renovate it and there was going to be a time that you could, there's plenty, if you could buy it for cheap, renovate it, there's plenty of reason to. But you realize that you're not going to make money now at this direct moment. So a lot of these bars are dependent on St. Patrick's Day. You make so much money. I know owning the bar, we were dependent to make our cap to renew our liquor license on St. Patrick's Day. Once we got that, because the renewal of the liquor license is shortly after that. So when you're trying to do that, I know they shut down the bars in a lot of states right before St. Patrick's Day. That cut the head off of like
That was a big
75.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, those bars aren't going to make it for that liquor license renewal. It's just pretty much putting a lot of them out at 50% of bars, I would say, got put out of business just from that alone because they didn't let the restriction wait until after St. Patrick's Day.
And that was right
So
at the beginning.
I don't know if it's necessarily just the bar management not being good. I think owning a bar, typically bar management is not good, but the fact that people can't, like food and beverage in general took a huge hit over it. They're the main target, even though the pharmaceutical industry has never made more money in 1 year than they have in this year. They pretty much are gods of the world now.
And Jeff Bezos and Amazon and all that shit. That's what it did. It just made like the digital world and all that. Like it took away like, oh, don't go out and buy stuff. You don't need to go do anything. Just get everything online. Stay at home. Get Netflix and all that. You don't need to go do anything out in the world. And it
Right.
made people feel very comfortable with that, and like even including myself. Like I said, it's hard for me to go out now. Almost sometimes I'd rather just sit at home and drink at home, which is not a bad thing because I save a lot of
Well,
money not going out to bars and getting wasted every night.
one
Stay
thing
out of
I am
trouble.
grateful for is it has made me appreciate my family, and
Yeah,
that's something that I in the past have neglected, and I'm grateful that that I've had that opportunity to step outside of myself and realize what I needed to do to be better and to be better for the people that were important to me. And so I'm grateful in that respect that I think a lot of people during COVID had to re-identify with themselves as human beings, whether or not they were human beings, because we didn't feel like it at moments, and still even now, like it's just bizarre the way it's made us react as a society as well as just a being.
as humans in normal life pre-pandemic, you're going through your day, every day. Oh, I'm so busy. I got stuff to do. Oh, and then finally everything stops, and you have this moment to stop. Like none of that shit matters. Like there's more to life than what you think is busy and what you're doing, so it kind of was like a blessing for a lot of people. You had like two choices during the pandemic. Like you're either going to sulk about it and be, pissy about what's happening, or re-identify yourself and think about your life and where you're heading and what's on the future and how things are going to change and what you're going to do about it.
Amen. And during this pandemic, we pretty much plotted out our course and how we were going to navigate through it as pirates.
As pirates.
And that's how we've gone about it, and we're still executing that plan, and that plan came forth again. Another stepping stone was today, June 18th.
The big
We released
release.
Curse the Sky, and we're very pleased with it so far. Want to give a shout out to Tim Kennan and White Light Audio for saving the day and doing an amazing job. He's going to be finishing up the album with us, and we're so honored and pleased to have him teaming up with Kill Devil Films on this one, as well as they did Rise of the Loser together too. We had the audio and video from that team there too. So
The
it's cool to
video
have
for
them.
Rise of the Loser came out really good too. I love how you guys do that. Like, do you like doing like acting and like cinematic stuff like that? Like, is that something you're into? It seems like you enjoy it.
It does seem like I enjoy it a little bit. I think I do, yeah. But my family was always my uh, mom's side of the family was all into the theatrics as well as the music. My cousin, are you familiar with Keith Whitley, the country western star? He was married to Lori Morgan. Um, that he,
I can't say I do. No.
if you heard the songs, you might know who he was.
Yeah.
But he was like an old school country, like 1980s. He passed away in 1986. He uh, was a drinker, choked on his own vomit right after he played at the Grand Ole Opry. But he was, and he never got a chance to ever see how big of a star he became, because a lot of people, Carrie Underwood covered his songs, and his wife is Lori Morgan, who she later on married Troy Aikman, the football star from the Dallas Cowboys. So uh, yeah, and he was one of the greatest country songwriters out there. But Keith has always had that side, that theatrical side of the family is on my mom and grandmother's side over there. They like to The pirates on my dad's side, they're the Portuguese Bahamas from Dead Man's Cay.
Oh, really?
Barber
So that's where the
pirate, yeah.
pirate side comes from, huh?
Yeah, that's where the pirate side comes from. The Portuguese, good sailors,
So you
sailors and
you really
salesmen.
do have some pirate in you, huh?
Yeah. Why would I lie about it?
I didn't know if it was just some
Who wants to
gimmick
be
or
a
something you
pirate?
made up.
You know,
Pirates
who
are
wants to
awesome,
be a
dude.
pirate? Well, I'm glad you like them. Good.
You know,
In
drink
certain
booze and
countries, they don't. They don't care for the pirates in certain countries.
well, we're not talking about like Somali pirates, you know, or something like that.
The Benjamin Franklin's First Navy. Have you ever read or are you kind of familiar with the book Franklin's Navy?
No, what is it?
Well, during the Revolutionary War, we didn't have a navy to fight Britain's navy when they were coming across. So it was Benjamin Franklin's idea and Thomas Jefferson to, who was his young Padawan, Benjamin Franklin's young Padawan. They
So now
talked
Star Wars
to
is involved. No, I'm just kidding. Continue.
his young. He was the mentor to Thomas Jefferson. We'll put it that way. But they, in order to take out some of those naval ships, they had set up contracts with pirates. And so Benjamin Franklin had his own navy, all contractually agreements with as independent contractors. So these were some of the first independent contractors of the U.S. Congress were pirates hired to attack British ships, and they were allowed to keep their bounties. But they had to return the survivors and as captives to the militia, the U.S. militia, because we didn't really have an army at the time.
That's
So
pretty
our
metal in
first
itself.
navy was a bunch of pirates, and then when Thomas Jefferson became president, he hung them all. So that's how much you can trust our government.
That's messed up, dude.
That's the truth, unfortunately.
All right, now that you helped us capture it, we're killing you all.
Well, he did give them the option to claim American citizenship, but if they chose to be pirates, then it was their head. They were wanted men,
And
even though they were
wanted to stay pirates.
correct. When they originally agreed with Benjamin Franklin, that contractual agreement had nothing about them having to become American citizens. You know, so then
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson comes in. He's like, "I'm going to change this contract. Now you have to become American citizens, or I'm going to hang you all." And he hung most of them. The rest of them became criminals and senators because they had to work with the crooks that were in the government. You know, just like how the JFK got elected because he used a bunch of dead guys and he used the mob. You know, but that's all the fun stuff about history.
So you're a big history buff then, huh? You like a lot about history. I
I
almost
was
feel
a
like you
political
could tell
science.
some of that in Rise of the Loser. You know, that almost seems kind of like the message you're portraying there.
Yeah, when I was a senior in high school, 9/11 happened, and it kind of changed my life uh, and the world at that time. And that's kind of where Losing September comes from. I used to be in a band that was like a pop punk cover band.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, just it was fun. You know, the chicks dug us. You
Oh
know.
yeah, chicks love pop punk.
So like, but I genuinely didn't know how I felt about doing it inside. But it was fun. You know, but there was no like structural spiritual meaning behind it or anything, you know. But it was fun. And then 9/11 happened, and it changed my world. It changed everybody's world. And I was originally planning that, you know, I was going into the military at that time. You know, the Bush or not the Bush, but the Clinton administration, and made everything in the military seem like just easy chump change to get in. My dad and my family was like, the military seemed like natural answer. Both my sisters had majored in music, and one thing that I wasn't supposed to do was go into music. So my dad just asked me, if you please, just son, if you do anything, don't go into music.
It reminds me when I had Buddha on here, we talked about it. One of the hardest things to do is tell your parents, like, I'm not going to work a normal job. I'm going to play
Right.
music. And your parents are like, oh, no, like, please don't. You're going to, I don't want to watch you fail and do nothing. You got to have a career and make money. But that's just all the
Yep.
more reason to fucking show them that you can do it, you know?
Well, it does create a fire inside.
Yeah.
The greatest inspiration that I always had was, like, for example, like, my mom always said that I couldn't play football because it's a barbaric sport. So when I was like in 8th grade, I was like, I begged my dad, I was like, sign me up. We're signing up for the football team. And my dad said, your mother's going to disown me. I said, she's going to disown me too. We'll keep it a secret. I'm not going to be good anyway. If I'm not good, I'll just quit. And then
Were
we
you any
went
good?
on. I turned out to be the captain. And so I end up being on the cover of the newspaper, and my mom still doesn't know, but she's a teacher at the elementary school, and they've got it pinned up in the teacher's lounge, and the teachers are telling them, "Oh, congratulations for your son." She knew I was like also in theater and in play, but that was my cover up for being on the football team.
Yeah, so she has to go and see it at work. Oh no, my son's on the football team.
Oh, I got grounded so bad. Oh my gosh. Uh, you- the fiery Irish woman, she took me out.
Oh, so you got some Irish in you too, huh?
Yep, she's Scotch Irish, and my dad's the Portuguese pirate.
I wonder where your drinking habits come from.
Trying to be good these days.
Yeah, it seems like it, man. I asked if you wanted to do a shot with me, and you were like, "I'll have a beer." Come
Yeah,
on,
and
dude.
I'm trying not
What
to do
happened to
that.
the Bruce Fane
I feel like
who
I feel
never
like it's
wants to
so.
quit the whiskey? And
Well, the whiskey, when you wake up to the whiskey every morning, eventually the whiskey, it consumes you. You
yeah,
start seeing the devil and start relating with him pretty clearly.
that's deep, man.
Whiskey's dangerous. It
Oh, it is.
killed my cousin. It's dangerous, especially like that Portuguese. Has like those pirates. A lot of them were like a lot of the Seminole Indians, like uh, were considered to be pirates also, because a lot of them were um, like they were slaves that had tried to flee, and tried to flee to Cuba. And because at that time, if you're trying to get away from the slaveholders to the pirates, where the pirates don't judge color.
Yeah,
So uh, the Seminole Indians were a lot of African slaves also, as well as white Irish slaves too. So a lot of people forget that there's multiple slave cultures that were brought in during that era of time. There was Irish slaves too, as well as Scottish slaves, as screwed up as that is, but that was the way it was. It was a trade market, that developed. But it wasn't part of, like, I get like how, like, they're trying to brand everything as like America was born on slavery and all that stuff, and it was definitely a way of how bodies and immigrants came here, but I don't think that that's like the foundation of it. I think it stemmed a lot of freedom from the king and the queen. Uh,
yeah.
Freedom,
From
and that's one thing that now we
the
are forcing
tyrants.
upon ourselves. That's what piracy. True pirate. It's not about being a pirate. Is not about stealing. It's about not being governed
It's
by
about true
anyone.
freedom.
True freedom. Amen. Cheers.
Cheers, man. So moving on to another subject. You debuted a new drummer in your music video today. Carter Little, I believe his name is. He's
Yes.
officially on board with Losing September.
Yes, he is. He is
and, and
official.
and I remember seeing he was a fan, and you guys went and jammed with him, and
Yeah, he
how did
kind
that
of
all
came
come about?
aboard. Well, he kind of came aboard during COVID at the time. We had just gotten back from Asia. We had finished working with our drummer in Asia, Senka Grind, and who him and Carter have a wonderful relationship together, which is awesome to see. He's kind of like a mentor to him. Um, so we look forward to the two of them working together. We've got a song that we're working on right now where Carter's playing auxiliary percussion toms, quints from marching band,
Yeah,
and then Senka's on set, so it's pretty cool. Um, but Carter, pretty much, COVID came into effect, and everything got shut down. So any plans that we had moving forward, we were planning on going back to Thailand, all got shut off. Um, so then we got focused on just getting. I just started writing, so I've got like an album and a half worth of material already pre-tracked that's just
nice.
waiting for me to dissect and before I'm willing to give it to our producer. But if Foreman gets a hold of it, he might throw it out there sooner than later. Who knows? But I'm trying to. I'm the like the procrastinating perfectionist, but he is too. So we both are. But that's
That's
why
a
we give
normal
the material
musician
to our.
thing, I feel like.
Yeah, you
It's
give
not
it to the
ready yet.
producer,
It's not ready.
right?
When's it gonna be
It's never
ready? It's never gonna be ready. You gotta
amen.
release it.
Well, that's the irony. Speaking of releasing it, we were waiting when we tracked "Curse the Sky" to bring back the single again to recircle back. When we tracked it, we released the trailer for it in October on Halloween.
Yep,
You know,
I remember.
so that's how long the suspense has been waiting. When we released that trailer, the song wasn't mastered at that time. So we had already filmed the video, but that was all pre-production that we had tracked it to. And then we had finished up exactly like so the mastering wasn't there. Everything we performed was ready, but it hadn't been mastered yet. So we were still waiting. We were trying to figure out everything that happened. Then once we've got the master, we're ready to produce it. We said spring coming this spring on the trailer, and then the coup occurs February 1st.
Yeah.
And at that time, it took precedent to market what was going on in Myanmar so that everyone needed to know, you know. And they still need to know, so it's not like anything has changed. But at that time, we really focused all of our marketing and everything we directed towards what's happening in Myanmar and tried to help be the voice for these people, that need a voice. It's crimes against humanity, it's mass genocide, it's messed up stuff that's not okay. And we needed to help raise awareness for that. So the video release had to be put on hold. But we said coming this spring. So June 18th, this was the last Friday of spring. Spring
Yeah,
is,
you're
it
right.
might be here.
21st is summer.
Yeah. So we're into summer. This is the last time I could get a release on a Friday. I'm like, we got to. And, you know, as fate would have it, it just so happens that Myanmar's leader that has been falsely de- accused and detained by their military, Miss Aung San Suu Kyi. It's her 76th birthday today.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's the power of fate.
That is the power of fate. It really is. Or even
So
for me,
another reason
even
to
the fact
raise.
that you're here with me, it's my fate, the
Well,
fact
you
that we're
chose it.
talking
I
about it here.
love that. I'm so glad that you chose June 18th. This was a couple weeks ago when we first connected. I'm so happy that you picked this date too. It's awesome. And I'm honored to be
Well,
your
yeah,
drum.
and
Thank
let somebody else get you. Well, I better make sure it's me instead of some other big time podcaster. Go and
you. You
get
killed
Bruce
it,
Fane
brother.
on. Do you do a lot of podcasts, or is this something new for you?
I have done a lot of podcasts. I haven't done one on Discord. This is my first Discord. Um, I'm normally familiar with the Zoom meetings. It seems like everybody uses those now, or it
Yeah,
seems to
it
be
is
the
what everybody uses.
mainstream. But or it's just been like a radio podcast where they call me and I'm on the phone with them, talking through the podcast. They just use whatever they're getting from there, or
I
it's
like
a
the
Zoom.
visual thing a little bit better.
Me too. I do too. Agreed. I've got this. My camera's kind of screwed up, so I'm sorry that I'm not looking at everybody straight on.
No, that's
It's
fine.
new to me. This is my first time. I'm sorry on Discord.
It's my
Trying
first
to figure
time.
it out.
You're doing
Not
great.
used
You're
to it.
doing great. You're not the only one. Like I said, everyone else is like, how do I do this Discord thing? And some people I've had on did really cool where they figured out how to get a VST plugin through Discord and then play like a live set on the stream, which is super cool. Like I want to incorporate some more stuff like that, like have an artist be able to
Why couldn't
do
it?
a
My
little
problem
set.
was I couldn't figure out how to get my Scarlet interface to the output is working. I can't get the input to work. It's probably just my own incompetency. But so when I'm
Fucking
hitting it,
technology, dude.
yeah, technology. So I'm excited about. I'm just gonna have to master the Discord or have a professional like you come and check it out. Where are you at nowadays? You're in
Northern
Michigan,
Michigan.
right?
Yeah.
Northern Michigan.
Traverse City, right here.
We're playing a festival in Southern Michigan. It's probably pretty far south. Coming up here in a couple weeks.
I
It's
got
called
family
Warrior.
right outside of Detroit, so I mean, I can always make a trip down. I'd love to come see you
It's in.
guys.
It's actually Pioneer, Ohio. So it's like right on the border, but it's like right there near Michigan. But Saturday, June 26th, it's called Warrior Music Fest. It's it pretty much is for all the homeless veterans in that Midwest area as well as across the country. But like the shelters for the homeless and for the veterans specifically, it's called Warriors Fest in tribute to them, those that have fallen and those that have served, and those that have served that are in need. So it's called Warriors Fest, June 26th. We'll
That's
be
next week.
performing. There's going to be a bunch of great bands on there, as well as the band Shallow Side will also be performing with us. If you're familiar
I've
with those,
seen them pop up a lot on like suggested stuff too. But right before you guys posted that, they were popping up on my timeline and stuff. And then I saw their name on that poster. I was like, oh shit.
yeah, they're cool guys. Back during the Pirates of the Road, Ricky Rage days, we used to tour with those guys. It was always fun. Ricky Rage, you were talking about him earlier, right?
Yeah, DJ Cheeto, dude.
Cheeto.
What's that guy up to? You hear from him at all?
I'm not sure what he's up to these days. I do miss him though. Love him and miss him, as well as all the Glow Stick boys and the whole gang. Those were the days.
Those were the days. Well, I mean, I'm glad that, everything came together to the fact that, I became friends with Glow Stick, got to meet you guys and Ricky Rage, and, that it's fate and how life works out and stuff.
Hell yeah. It's awesome to be here with you, John.
Well, we
It's
appreciate
great.
having you. I'm going to pop another beer on that note.
Right on, bro. I like your chair. That's thing sweet. Yours is way fancier than mine. Mine's just like a business chair that's like been worn to shit.
Yeah, I needed a gaming chair. It's been so long. So it was actually my roommate got it for me for Christmas. He's like, you need a better chair, man, as a streamer. Because I've been streaming and playing and doing gaming streams and stuff for 5 years now. And he used the shitty chair that had like busted out wheels and it was all tore up. So my roommate and manager of my stream, he was like, here's Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, have a chair.
That's sweet. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cost effective too. It's only like $150.
I might have to get me one.
You might
You've
have to.
inspired.
Hey, if that's all, if I can inspire one person a day, I've done my job.
Amen. Amen. That's a hell of a job too, just to inspire one person these days.
It really is.
Everybody's down, but the sun is shining
Yep, that
every
light
now
at the
and then.
end of the tunnel, like you were saying, man. And even with doing some of these podcasts and stuff, I've had people come up to me or, message me and mention like some of the conversations I've had with my guests that I forget about. I'm like, I don't remember talking about that, but they like remember. People remember what you say, and it does inspire them or affect them to the point where they remember it, and that's a beautiful thing to me. Like even if it's just with music or talking, to be able to inspire somebody is one of the best feelings.
Amen. It truly is. It's nothing better.
And you get to do that with your music, so you know how that is.
I inspire and sometimes piss off too, so you never know what you're gonna get. But that's the cool thing about art is you get to express yourself. Some
Yeah.
people like it, some people won't.
Oh, people
There
are
are certain.
gonna. If people aren't hating it, I always say you're doing something wrong. You're doing
I
something
agree.
wrong. You're not supposed to make everybody happy.
I agree. That's perfect.
You gotta have the haters, dude. You gotta have the haters.
Amen. They fuel us. They give us the fire that we need.
Yeah, to keep going.
Michael Jordan wouldn't be great if he wouldn't have people talking shit to him the whole time.
Yeah,
That's what. And he had to lose. He got his ass kicked. He didn't even make his high school basketball team.
yeah,
Uh,
and he sucked at baseball.
well, we don't want to talk about that. I'm a White Sox fan, so that was pretty rough to see. But it was cool to just get to see him in the stadium. People paid tickets just to watch him steal bases. They'd send him in as a pinch runner every now and then,
Uh-huh.
or he'd lay down a bunt. I remember he hit a home run one time, and that was a big deal.
And that is a big deal.
And it's
But
not
that,
easy being a professional baseball player, but I think it was like a managerial decision. I mean, I don't know what was going on there. Like, I'm not a master.
or it's just as simple as somebody like people telling him he can't. Like you said, or I'm the same way. Where it's like somebody's, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, watch me, motherfucker. I'm gonna go and do that. Like, I'll do it.
And he did become a professional baseball player. I mean, Tim
Even if
Tebow
I'm
is
not
doing
good, I'm a professional baseball player.
right. Tim Tebow is doing that in every way. But like Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. So I mean, that's one thing that he has over Tebow.
Yeah, true.
But Tebow's got his fan base, that's for sure.
So you're big into sports then, huh, Bruce? You big
Well,
sports
I'm from
guy?
Chicago, so I have to be because I'll get harassed. It's been so long since I've been, other than playing shows in Chicago, I've not really got to spend a lot of time just getting harassed by my brothers and sisters over in the Windy City.
I do
Now
like
I live over in.
Chicago.
Oh,
Chicago's
I
always
love
a blast.
Chicago. It is. It's a good time. I live now over near Pittsburgh, so um, there's no haters over here. A lot of people in Pittsburgh love the Bears,
I
and
love
the Bears.
Philly, dude.
Well, Philadelphia is a good place too. I like Philly too. Um, there's a lot of uh, hostility between the Steelers and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Uh, Pennsylvania is like torn in two, and then you've got Ohio. It's just funny to see these people react. I used to worry about the Bears and the Colts because I was in college at Ball State when the Bears got their ass kicked by the Colts, and the Colts fans just made my life a living hell. God bless them, but it was miserable for a while there being a Bears fan after Peyton Manning whooped our ass, made Brian Urlacher look like a chump. It was brutal. After Hester returned that touchdown too at the beginning. Anyway, no more sports. Let's talk about music.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not a big sports guy, and I never have been. I always kind of make fun of sports and people who like sports line, like, oh, your favorite sports ball team, they're gonna shoot a goal. I do respect it, but I can't. I'm not gonna spend all my time watching somebody else make millions. and get upset about it. That's like my brother, he'll, and he doesn't do it as much anymore, but he used to get way upset, freak out if his team lost. I'm like, what do you care, dude? How's it affect you? Unless you had like a bet on it for a ton of money. Like, why
Well,
do you care
I
so much about
remember
other
it
people's
used to
lives?
affect me when I was in college. That was all you had. You had like your college work, your job that you were just waiting to quit, and then football. And then I got a band, and I just stopped caring about football.
Yeah,
Pretty
that'll
much
do it.
once music took over, then it's always sports. I like if I'm in a bar, it's good to talk with people, but I'm not going to live my life having to know the score of a game or something like that.
Yeah, and then, like I said, like betting and fantasy leagues, like, yeah, I guess that's fun, but like the obsession over this
Right.
shit, I don't understand.
It makes sense it was my way that I could get away from reality. I didn't have to think anymore. I didn't have to think about all the stresses of like my daily life, like what's going on with work, what's going on with school. I could just zone into nonsense football or baseball and just zone out,
Yeah.
and not care. And I think that's what like a lot of males want to do, like when their wives yelling at them or their kids are, talking, they just want to
Yeah,
turn
have
on
something to
ESPN,
check out. Yeah.
and they want to tune out everything else. That's why they always have it at the doctor's office. That or the news where it just makes everyone even more uncomfortable when
Oh
the
man,
news
yeah,
is
I think I hate the news even more than
right.
sports, dude. I
They're
can't
both
I won't have
pay
cable
attention.
television. I go over to my mom's and they're watching cable. I'm like, how do you watch this garbage? Like they're just feeding you trash. It's straight brainwash garbage.
Yeah, the commercials. One thing my buddy was saying, he's like,
Commercials
man,
are cringy now, dude.
they're bad. Like, and they're bad on your phone too. Like when I'm typing up something about a complaint about a product, I'll be like, this product sucks. It sucks because of this. Then I start getting more ads about that
Yeah.
product.
Or you look up something one time, I just want to look at it. Boom, your whole feed blows up.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
No, I didn't want this. I'm not buying a hundred bass amps or bass pedals or just was looking at this one.
It gets wild how much they're spying on us sometimes. I wish that
Yeah.
I'm like I've always been kind of like worried about potential hackers and blah 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 blah. And but really, like it's getting kind of weird when like I'm having to call my bank because I'm getting fraudulent charges from some random guy over in another country, and I'm like,
Yeah,
who the
it's
hell is this?
weird.
Why did they take $100 out of my account? Where did this come from? What? And then my bank's like, oh, it's just a hacker. We'll take care of it. They've already given me the money and they're processing him in court. I'm like, how is that even going to work?
And I don't have to worry about anything you're telling me. This is already all taken care of.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
benefits
dude.
of a bank, but also you're wondering where are they ever going to catch this guy? What's going to happen? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
what the
what
fuck?
if it was that easy for him to get my information? How easy is it going to be for somebody else to do it again?
Right, exactly. And all those questions and the digital world, and now we're moving into it. I mean,
Yes,
we lived it through it with World War II. History repeats itself.
it does.
People were burning money to stay warm because there was no reason to have money because it wasn't have any value. So I wouldn't doubt the day where we will be burning money again just to stay warm if everything goes to digital currency.
Like cryptocurrencies and stuff, man. I don't know if you mess with any cryptos and stuff, but it feels like they're really pushing that too. Like I get ads for,
Well, it's
oh, get a
definitely,
get a credit card for your crypto wallet. You don't have to use regular money anymore. You could just swipe all your crypto.
and they're getting rid of gold as much as they can. So like the U.S. dollar now, the $100 bills aren't backed by gold. Like
Yeah.
there might be it's backed by IOUs to other countries. So we're already bankrupting ourselves. I mean, like that ribbon inside there isn't made of any gold anymore. It's just IOUs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not going to
And
be
gold's a
good.
precious metal. Like gold is the one thing that actually is one of the gold and silver and metals. Those things actually have value,
Right.
instead of as opposed to paper money.
Or digital money.
Yeah,
Digital money you can't
again,
even touch.
Star Wars money, credits, dude. Oh, I got
You
credits. I
can't even
gotta.
touch it.
Yeah, it's not tangible, and that's what they want. Oh, we don't. We want people to not
Because then they
own
can say, "Oh, our
anything.
server is down." I'm sorry. Just like when we went into the Great Depression and all the banks had to close, they had to tell people, "I'm sorry, we don't have your money. You can open our vault. There's no money in it." Well, yeah, there wasn't any money in there, like because it's all like no bank has as much money in it as they have loaned out ever. That's
Yeah.
the problem with our bank.
So wouldn't it just be easier to switch everybody to here? We'll give you this number, and this digital number, decides whether you can buy groceries and what you can
Create
have
some
for the
value.
week.
It's screwed up. They're creating value out of things that don't have value.
Untangible.
You can't touch it. It's untangible value.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess we do that with as musicians with audio, but we're giving you an audio file. Like I still like an album. I would rather give somebody a CD because you get artwork with it. You can throw it. You can use it as a weapon. You know,
With a CD. Yeah, I
I,
always, having a CD oh, I have this thing for my band. I like. Well, it's always still like T-shirts and merch and stickers and all that too. But it is the digital age of music and gaming. Like they're not selling like discs and stuff anymore for games. So they're trying to make it like you don't own anything. You don't own the things that you're buying. You
right.
don't own the money you're buying it with.
Right. People now would rather at shows sometimes they'd be like, some of these younger kids are like, can you just email me the songs? Like, well, yeah, I guess we can. If you
Yeah.
buy a $10 worth of merchandise, you get a free album meal emailed to you. That's when we were like, all right, let's just send people zip files that want it. So
That's so
that's why
weird.
these are good to have at a show because you can put a
Little flash drive.
music video on there as well as your full album, and then they can delete it, do whatever the hell they want with it, and still use it again.
You guys is Losing September selling flash drives at shows? That's next level, dude. Nobody's done that. Flash
Well, don't tell
drives,
them.
Losing September flash drives with your logo on it and everything. $10 for a flash drive.
And you can delete our stuff as much as you can.
Yeah, and then you have a Losing September flash drive that you can put on your own files on it.
Exactly. You can use it for whatever junk porn you want.
But you can fit
All the
so
dirty
much porn on this baby.
On a brighter note, uh, it's been a pleasure, John. Do you have any other questions for me? What's the plan?
Well, yeah, my goal is to keep you here as long as I can.
Right on.
I'd have you sit here all night and talk. But I understand
Cool.
people have lives and things to do. This is the Stay Awake Squadcast. So what I do is I stay awake, and welcome
Stay
to
awake from
Harmony.
me.
We got people just rolling in. Dragon Ball Z wants to know if you're a goat or a fish. That's an important question we got to ask you. We have a friend here on Twitch. His name is Goat vs. Fish. And if he was here right now, he would ask you, are you a goat or are you a fish?
That's a tough question. How does do I need to understand how that works? Is it relevant to a video game, or is this a trick question?
I'm not Goat vs. Fish, so I can't explain as good as him. He believes in the fact that there are only goat and fish. There's no good or evil, and all humans or whatever are truly at heart goat or fish. And if you do not choose a goat or a fish, you sit on the fence. You're a fence sitter.
I think I like the fence. It
You
goes
you
right up
think
my
you like
crack
the fence?
goes right up my crack nicely. Burns a little bit, actually. It burns hard. I'm sorry.
If you want to be on the fence, that's fine. I believe that nobody stays on the fence forever. It's a temporary place to be. I myself am a goat. and always have been going. I think there's two kinds of people. Whether you're a goat or fish right off the get, you can feel it in your heart, and then there's people who need to sit on the fence for a while and think about it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I've always been an independent party candidate.
That's all right. Bruce Fane is a fence sitter. You heard it here. No, let's get you talking about all your shows coming up. What can we expect from Losing September this summer and going into the rest of the year? Festivals, shows, tours. What's going on in your guys' world?
Coming up Saturday, June 26th in Pioneer, Ohio. It's going to be a great time. Tribute to all the homeless veterans out there. It's going to be a benefit for them. Tribute to all the fallen warriors and all the family members and those that have served. On July 9th, we're playing Gigaroo in Salzburg, Pennsylvania. This is a benefit for all the every year they have 4 shows that benefit one cancer victim. They're all like children under between in adolescence, and it comes to take care of their proceeds and covers all of their medical bills. That they as much money as they can acquire from the concert, they put towards their medical bills so one patient can survive. It's a really cool experience. We've been doing it the last 2 or 3 years. And it's cool to see these kids. You see the kids that they've been doing it for over 20 years now, and you see these kids that have survived it. They come back every year. They're a family of people that have survived cancer, and it's really influential. It's called Gigaroo. It's in Salzburg, Pennsylvania, July 9th. Then Saturday, July 10th, Summer Bash in our hometown where me and Foreman met at Ball State University, Muncie, Indiana, at the Water Bowl. This is going to be a big event. It's sponsored by Bud Light. It's all inclusive, so it pays for your camping, pays for your drink, your food, everything, all the activities. There's a man-made beach there. There's going to be miniature golf. There's a zip line. There's volleyball, beach volleyball. It's going to be a blast. It's called Summer Bash. That is July 10th in Muncie, Indiana, our hometown. So don't want to miss that one. Sponsored by Bud Light. It's going to be a good time. So July 10th. And then Friday, August 6th, we're playing a festival in Marion, Ohio. Tiki Stick 2021. This is our first time being there. We're really looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to it right now. I am blowing up right now. But and we're playing. Sorry, I've just got an incoming phone call right there. But we're playing Tiki Fest or Tiki Stick 2021, Marion, Ohio, Friday, August 6th. It's going to be a blast. Then Thursday, August 26th through the 29th. 29th, we'll be performing that Sunday of Metal in the Mountains, huge festival. There's going to be all kinds of big boys there. We've got the Butcher Babies.
Nice.
Butcher Babies. You've got Flaw is going to be there. Attila is coming back. They haven't played in a long time. They always love to piss people off. So,
they do.
Head P is going to be there. Our brothers from Head P, haven't seen him in a while. So, him and I will have some good old chats about politics and our survival through life. And me and Jared, good times. But got the boys from Flaw. They're always going to be raising some hell, pissing off some people, trumping it up, apparently. So it's going to be some chaos out there. And there's a bunch of, Soulfly. What the fuck am I talking about?
Nice.
From down under, Brazil, not down under, but from South America, Brazil, the gods of South America, Soulfly. So
damn, some big names on there.
Sepultura.
Sepultura?
Well, no, Soulfly comes from.
Yeah.
Sepultura. But I was, it's still going to be huge. It's going to be good times. But Metal Mountain's going to be a blast. And then we've got a couple festivals that haven't been announced yet that we're waiting to put up there. But then we also have Patriot Fest on September 11th in Royalton, Illinois. It's going to be a monster truck, motorcycle, motocross rally, and music. We're going to be playing with MK Ultra, the rapper, greatest rapper in the world.
Sick.
And Losing September. It's going to be good times. So that's in Royalton, Illinois, at Diesel's Mud Ranch. It's going to be a blast. Patriots Fest, 9/11. It's a 20-year anniversary of the way the world got shook. And
what better band to have than Losing September? That's really cool. I didn't know. I learned something today. I didn't know that Losing September was kind of a tribute to that. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, thank you, brother. I'm glad that I could inform you of that. You know,
Yeah.
like when we first started, like we really didn't want. It was just too soon, you know. Like when people would be like, "What does Losing September mean?" Everyone automatically assumed it was 9/11. Everybody. And like when we're like, "Well, yeah, that's what we're going through," people just would like be so upset and disgusted by it. And like at the time we were going to college, and we're like, "Well, and we go to college at this time, and you know this kind of resembles this." And the following September after that, I had tried to commit suicide. So a lot of our first album, There Will Be Casualties, is songs about suicide and dealing with coping with change. So
I
all
remember
that
when I
just
first met and talked to you,
bundled up.
we discussed that a lot. You know, you had mentioned a lot about when you're writing, when you were suicidal and stuff. I didn't want to bring it up unless you were comfortable talking about it, but you know,
Right, and those every September passing, it would come back, and for some reason, it just always hurts the same. Like when you experience loss, you know, you never really get over it. You just learn to live with it, you know, and then that's just how life is. Then you either learn to forget or you never forget, you know. So and people react to it in different ways. But so at the beginning, we didn't know how we wanted to brand it. We didn't want to take advantage of those that were fallen and that were lost. But through time, you know, it is a tribute to them. And that's what it is, you know. So it's been the inspiration. It's been what the turning point in my life. My writing style went from writing in the major key to writing in the minor key and learning how to write through my depression.
going from pop punk to the metal side. Yeah, you go from major key to minor key. That's what Zenway Harmony needs to learn. Zenway Harmony, you hear me? We need to get you in the minor key next time we're jamming. Because I jam in the minor key too, and always have. I like the eerie notes and the darker sounding stuff, and
And
some of the
it's
people I jam
great to
with.
modulate too. You know, it's all
Yeah.
so you can like modulate to a major key, especially on like a chorus or a bridge, to bring light or make that feeling of enlightenment, you know, or just to raise the mood. You need that tension. The minor key creates that tension and
Yes, it
dissonance.
does.
You know, and then like that release comes from like sometimes that modulation to a major, relative major, or you know.
Yeah, it's the relief, the resolve, you know, the happiness restored.
Right.
Fig Jams 123 says give tickets to John for a giveaway. We'll give away some Losing September tickets here on the stream, or just
We've
give
got
me
tickets
just
to
give me
Patriot
tickets
Fest.
to come to your show. I'm not
Well,
gonna
we
give them
got
away.
that
I'm just
too.
gonna show up.
Hey, hey, you let me know you're coming to a show. I'll put you on the guest list. Okay. You let me
Yeah,
know.
we can
All right.
coordinate that after all this and stuff. Because I was thinking, like, dude, if I came down next week, because I mean it's short notice, but I might be able to swing it and just come down and hang out.
Oh, that'd be sweet. I'll try to get you on. If you let me know in advance, and I'll set something up.
Yeah, we can
I'll
we can
take
discuss it after all this is said and done. One last question here. Dragon Ball Z 325 wants to know what are some of your personal favorite songs to play live, in Losing September. What songs do you enjoy the most or resonate the most with playing them live?
My Well, one song that I love playing, just because it seems like it gets the audience fired up, and it might just because it's a drinking song, but
Idiot.
how'd you guess?
Cause I get fired up when you guys play that song.
Well, I'm glad that you do. That one always gets the crowd going. I
Yeah,
remember
it's
we were
definitely a
down.
banger. It's definitely like the Losing September song. Like when I was showing you guys the stream and stuff, well, they gotta hear Idiot, you know. If I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Idiot was,
introduce somebody to Losing September, I show them Idiot.
which is so funny because it's like that's more of the pop punk side of me coming out,
Yeah.
and that song was originally written as a country song. With our producer that I talked about earlier, Tim, that did Curse the Sky. Like when we were out in California, we drove across America for 3 days to meet with him. And with a rental car, we were all smashed inside there. Our legs were falling asleep. I had to drive the whole time because I was the only person on the rental car license. So
Yeah.
just constant coffee and energy drinks. I mean, I don't even know. Luckily, we tracked drums first. I had to lay down the scratch tracks, then we tracked drums. But anyway, we're sitting at a campfire midway through the week. We booked the studio for a week, and we're outside the studio. We're sitting there I'm playing this country song that I wrote. They're like, play idiot, just as a joke for Tim, our producer. And I played it, and I'm singing it in country twang. And he's like, "You're putting on that on the album, right?" And I was like, "No, hell no, there's no way."
I want to
Like, no,
hear the country version of Idiot.
you got to get me good and drunk on whiskey around a campfire and acoustic guitar.
I can totally hear it in my head, like how it would go.
Right.
The little twang.
No.
For me, one of my personal favorite Losing September songs has always been, it was one of the first ones I heard, Complicated.
Complicated.
And just for the clean singing, it was when I first heard your voice, I was like, damn, dude, this guy's got a clean ass voice. Like, the clean vocals are good, the screams are good, the videos, it's cool. You guys can have that like early 2000s feel. You all jump at the same time. I loved it right from the beginning when I first heard that song. Dude.
Well, it was almost not that far after. I mean, 2000. I don't even know what 2012 actually. Yeah, because it's going to be the 10-year anniversary this September.
Of Project
This
Mayhem.
September 18th for Project Mayhem. Yeah, it's going to be the 10-year anniversary.
Nice.
So we are getting fucking old, aren't we? Holy shit.
Yeah, you said you were a senior when 9/11 happened. I was in like the fucking second grade, dude.
Hey, I've drank too much blood over these years. I forget over time,
But your Portuguese, Hispanic, pirate genetics keep you looking young and clean though, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
All right, one last thing. I kept you here for an hour and a half. That was my goal. I had to keep you entertained until we hit the 2-hour mark here. Let's go ahead and tell everybody where they can listen to Losing September. Where's the best place to find you, see your videos, follow you? Fig Jams, if you want to post some links in the chat too, that'd be sweet.
Well, you can check us out at www.losingseptember.com. That's probably the best place to focus on because we've got all of our different links. You can see us at facebook.com/losingseptemberofficial, or you've got all our Twitter, Spotify, all the good stuff. We're available on all your mainstream media platforms, Spotify, Amazon, the goods. TikTok. So you can
You guys do TikTok?
We do TikTok. You can even use our TikToks. You can use our songs on TikTok if you want to do a video.
Oh, cool.
So encourage. I've got my stepdaughter is really good at her dances and stuff, and she's the one that taught me about TikTok. So I was not familiar with it, and then my record label starts telling me that we got to start getting enveloped in TikTok. So she's in charge now.
Yeah, you got to put the young one in charge of the TikTok management. They're good with that stuff. My little cousin does it, and she gets thousands of views on TikTok. I'm like, I can't get thousands of views on anything.
Yeah, TikTok is good. I don't know how these kids, they learn it so quick. It just seems natural to them. You know?
They grew up with it. Content creators. They all grew up watching YouTubers and stuff. So that's what they know how to do. You got to say like, comment, and subscribe, and do all these silly things to make good content.
Yeah, it's crazy. What world do we live in?
It's crazy, man. It gets weirder and weirder, doesn't it?
It gets weirder and weirder. Every day, weirder and weirder. Crazy.
Awesome, man. Well, I've had a blast talking with you, dude. I'm glad we got to catch up. Let's not have it be so long until we talk again.
Yeah, I'd love to see you at Warriors Fest or anything else. If you're interested in, just hit me up. I'll see what I can do. I'll get you on the guest list. I'll take it, or I'll buy your ticket one way or another.
Awesome, that would be sweet. And I'll come down and hang out for a night or whatever. We can fucking have some drinks, and awesome. That'll be that. I'll be in touch, man. I'll see if I can swing it, brother, and make it next week.
Talk to you soon.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Bruce Fane, everybody, of Losing September. Have a great night, Bruce. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Much love, man. Go and follow Losing September, everybody. Links are in the chat. Links are in the chat. Thank you, Fig James 123. Thank you, Bruce Fane. We love Losing September, and you should too. Thank you, Dragon Balls. Make sure you go and subscribe to Losing September on YouTube and follow them on Facebook and all that good stuff. I've loved these dudes, and I've loved these guys for 5 years now, and I'll continue to follow them. And it was Glow Stick Willie who turned me on to those guys, so I'm thankful for that. You guys, this has been another incredible episode of the Stay Awake Squadcast. We had Bruce Fane of Losing September. This was episode 10. Thank you very much to our guest. Oh, the pause.
This just in, we have breaking new details on the worldwide manhunt for Bruce Fane. Sarah Hunter is live on location. Sarah?
This is Sarah Hunter here reporting on the scene of a gruesome killing spree. We have 4 confirmed deaths and 3 still missing. We have a worldwide manhunt underway for this perpetrator.
For you guys who joined us late, you didn't get to see it, here's the new video. Hang out and check this out. Forgot to ask what his name is. Fake Jams 123, I don't know if you're still with me. Maybe you can help me.
Where?
Remember the deaf man's name.
Demons in my veins that aren't contained. My flesh hanging off my bones is what remains. The sky and touch the earth. How much is it really worth? Why, God, please don't take my brother from his flock.
What's going on?
My God, I know I've turned my back and I can't talk. My life is fell apart, it seems like it's a joke. Why, God, I know it's been some time since we last spoke. Time flies, you feel the pain and then it's by so fast. Life hurts, always looking in an hourglass. All the violence of my youth, all the lies and untold truth. Why, God, please don't take my brother from his flock. My God, I know I've turned my back and I can't talk. My life is fell apart, it seems like it's a joke. Why, God, I know it's been some time since we last spoke. Whoa, demons control. Whoa. blood in my veins and uncontained. My flesh hanging off my bones is what remains. Kiss the sky and touch the earth. How much is it really worth? Why, God, please don't take my brother from his flock. My God, I know I'm through my back and I can't talk. My life is fell apart, it seems like it's a joke. Why, God, I know it's been some time since we last spoke. I'm falling down. Lift me up. Once contained, sins corrupt. Lift me up. Whoa, demons control. Whoa, since we last spoke. Whoa, once contained. Whoa,
Listen, I can hear the strings.
since corrupt. Whoa, demons control. Whoa, since we last spoke. Whoa, once contained. Whoa, since corrupt. Why, God, please don't take my brother from his flock. My God, I know I turned my back and I can't talk. My life is fell apart, it seems like it's a joke. Why, God, I know it's been some time since we last spoke. Whoa, once contained.
Losing September, everybody. The Stay Awake Squadcast, episode 10, with Bruce Fane and the release of Losing September's new single and music video. Curse This Guy. Go check him out. Go follow him, guys.